So direct support professional, right? They're the way that search can do what we do, right? They're the folks that help support you guys to live your own lives, right? And the folks that make search able to do all the programs we do, take the vacations we do, take do all the hard work that we do. And they're really, really, really important to us. Search has almost 200 direct support professional positions. Means if we had everybody that we need to have, we'd have 200 DSPs at Search that would support everything that we do in all of our programs, the homes, the day programs, the clinics, all of that, right? And so right now, Search only has about 140 DSPs. And so we are short by about 60 people from what we should have, right? So that's a pretty big deal. And I know you all get impacted by that a lot more than I do, right? Because sometimes it's like, oh, we only have one staff on today. We can't go do that super fun thing we wanted to do, or someone's having a rough day, and so maybe the staff member has to help someone having a rough day instead of being able to help you, right? So it's really, really, really important that we can bring more DSPs into the world of what we do, right? And I think it's a pretty great job. I also know it's a very important job. What we're advocating for right now is everybody knows what the Senate and the House is, right? They're the people that make the laws in the state of Illinois. There's a law that's introduced that would give us enough money at Search to pay all of our DSPs $4 more per hour. That's a very big deal. That's a lot of money.
$4 more an hour to work?
Which for a whole year is about $9,000 a year extra for the people who work for us. We love that, right? Everybody loves that.
Y'all, there's some applause. Look, Norwood's got some applause. Like, woo, yeah. All right. I think it sounds like a win-win, Cory.
Me too.
Yeah.
So part of my job is to go out and talk to the people who are in charge of prioritizing what we need at Search, right? Putting us at the top of the list, going and talking to them and saying, Search needs to be at the top of your list because, right? So I've had some meetings. I went to Springfield in March and, did a lot of steps in the Capitol and tried to talk to a lot of people about how important the work is that we do, because they don't know us, right? They don't know exactly who we are. We have to tell them who we are. They represent a lot of people. They represent kids. They represent people who live in nursing homes. They represent libraries and churches and schools, and they represent a lot of things. So Search is just like a tiny little piece of what they do. And so we went to Springfield last month and we said, we need more money, and here's why we need more money. We met last week with a senator. Her name was Senator Ann Gillespie. She was very, very important because she is actually the chairperson of the meeting that's going to happen tomorrow at the state level. And she is the one who's going to kind of be able to say, this is why I think something is important. And so I participated in that meeting and talked about Search.
Did you say that this meeting is tomorrow?
It is. I'm sorry. I believe it is Thursday.
So it sounds like whatever action we take after this meeting, it needs to happen now.
Today and tomorrow. Yep. So Senator Ann was lovely. Senator Ann actually is the direct senator for 4 houses that we have at Search: Gulfview, Highland, Lawrence, and Sycamore. So if you live in those houses and you are on this call, I see Sean Evil waving his arms. That is your senator. That is the person that you can call and say, hi, I'm Sean, I'm your constituent. I am supported by a DSP, and my DSP needs to make more money. So even if you don't live in Senator Ann's district, everybody has a senator. Everybody has a representative. You get 2 people that talk about what you need in Springfield. We have a few that represent a lot of us, and that is Senator Ram Villavalam, amazing name. He represents a lot of Skokie, and I bet a lot of you live in Skokie, would be my guess. Yeah, I see. Oh, and I see you, Georgie. Georgie, you have an amazing representative by the name of Lindsay LaPointe. She is also a chairperson of some of this important money stuff, so she could help us out. Senator Laura Fine supports Morton Grove and Skokie. So we have lots of people that we can be calling, because you know what they have to do? They have to say, I had 400 people call me today and say that DSPs are important, or I got 400 emails, or I got 400 whatever letters in the mail.
If I send a list of everybody's, contacts, it's the senators, right? Or is it the representatives?
The Senate meeting is this week.
Okay, so it is a senator. So perhaps I can generate or send a link where you can find your senators. I'll maybe send out, this house is this senator kind of thing. Because there's a couple of things we can do here, Cory, right? We can, maybe I can send out the witness slip, but also we can just make phone calls, right? Or email.
Correct, we can do that. The other thing is that when you file a witness slip, you should input your address, and it will be able to automatically detect who it needs to speak to. And the truth is, the witness slip isn't as important for address. It's literally important that they know how many people are supporting what's being discussed in the moment. So the people who sit on that money committee, those important people, they have the power to decide where the money gets spent, right? And so we want them to write the biggest check to supports for people with disabilities.
The witness slips, I think that any DSPs, any staff that are listening, we can certainly fill one out, and we can also sit next to Georgie, sit next to Sean, and fill one out with them.
I just wanted to share also, Search is going to do what's called an action alert, which means we send to all of our email lists, to everyone who's on our email list. There'll be a big thing at the top. It's this really ugly orange color that you can't miss that says action alert. And it's going to be this exact information in that email, so that if you want to have your friends, your family, your bank teller fill this out, you can give them the instructions to do that. And so the deadline is tomorrow afternoon, because they're going to be talking about it. If they're talking about it tomorrow afternoon, it doesn't matter. As long as it's in before the conversation and during the conversation, fine. So end of day tomorrow.
What did Ann Gillespie, what did she have? Did she say that there's some interest in it, or did she have any response to you?
Yeah, I think something, if I'm being honest, that we're kind of fighting against is that we've gotten money the last several years because we needed it, right? We know that we've needed a lot of money to support our DSPs, and the state has responded to that, and they've given us money. And so something that comes up a lot is there's a lot of people in line for money. And so, sometimes when you get it 2 years in a row, they say you got to take a year off. I think that we've made our message clear that when you've neglected giving us money for 25 years and then you give it for 2, that's really nice. We're thankful. We appreciate it. But it doesn't fill the gap of the other 23 years that have not been funded. And so I think, that is our message, is while we're very grateful, we're very appreciative. We have gotten some money over the last few years. It's not enough. If it were enough, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't find that 30%, 1 in 3 positions at Search is vacant with DSPs. So I think, we just have to be noisy. We have to let them know that it's still a priority. There were several groups that reviewed the state of Illinois a couple years ago. This is directly what they suggested, not Cory Gum, not Search, not other providers. This is a group of people who said, you're not giving enough money to people with disabilities in the state of Illinois, and this is a problem. And so the $4 an hour is directly from what that group recommended. So we didn't just pull $4 out of thin air. We took it from the experts who knew what was needed. and $4 an hour is an important number for us.
Cory, thank you so much for your time. And you guys, thank you for your attention and your great questions and your great positive attitude and teamwork here. We got this. All right, you guys have a beautiful Tuesday, and we'll see you next week. All right. Okay, bye. Bye.